We're at the last day of PowerGen International. It's almost like Times Square on New Year's Eve here outside of the Penwell booth, because within just a few minutes we're going to be giving away a 2009 Corvette to one lucky attendee of the 20th anniversary of PowerGen International. Also in today's events, we're going to take a look at the final mega sessions. We're going to hear a little bit from our editor's briefing on the credit crisis, and we're also going to visit around the exhibit floor just one more time.
Owns, primarily investor owns, with huge balance sheets or huge asset bases, or huge and what I would call vision for where they're going to be 8 years from now. Where they're going to be 8 years from now. We can't stop now. We're going to get there. We need to keep moving today. We need to keep moving today. Duke is a great example where there's actually in a lot of new projects right now, because their vision says this is where we're going and we're not going to slow down.
For those willing to take the risks, they'll be able to realize larger than normal returns, and that's what will eventually loosen up the grips on people trying to keep their money in house right now. Basically, if you look at the banks, you look at the insurance companies, you look at the big private equity guys. They're holding on to money because they want the liquidity. They want the liquidity to make sure that they're still around 6 months from now, a year from now, 2 years from now. So they're hoarding cash.
It's a funny thing to say, but right now a power plant is a very fungible asset. And when you think about over the last 50 years, or even as recently as 10 years ago, that was a strange thing to say. But owning assets is a real opportunity even today.
Bill Fry is the Vice President of Marketing for Advanced Programs for GE Hitachi. In addition to his responsibilities in advanced programs, Bill is a GEH Program Manager for Government Affairs and University Relations, is on the Board of Directors of the International Clean Energy Alliance.
So it was very nice to be well diversified, not only in terms of market, but also on an international basis, and especially in these tough economic times. Like I said, nuclear is within the energy portfolio. We have a number of...
Veronica Winchell.
We wish that all of you could win this automobile, but I guarantee you that Rich Baker's not going to win it. So you're safe there, and neither is Bob, and neither am I. So we'll go ahead with the drawing, and thank you very much for attending, and thank you for supporting PowerGen International 2008. And we look forward to seeing you in Las Vegas next year.
Get Bob inside, put it in your right hand. Okay, put on brake and then push the button.
Then we're able, when we go combined cycle, we slowly open the stack, or the damper. And starting from here to here is all open area. What that does, it allows the hot air to expand and give a good flow across the superheater section. And your superheater starts right there and goes across. Your SCR is in the center. That's where all your pipes are, where you add the ammonia to the catalyst so that you take the nitrous oxide out. This is Unit 3 steam turbine. We can walk in here and take a look inside. This is the high pressure turbine. Steam's been introduced into here. Goes back out to reheated, brought back in again. Run intermediate and the low pressure. Then it exhausts out there.
How many years have you been coming to PowerGen?
I'd say for about 10 years.
10 years, all right. So halfway to
half
the 20,
of the 20.
Since this is the 20, yeah.
Power Engineering's 2008 Project of the Year Award for gas-fired projects goes to the Tokyo Electric Power Company's Kawasaki Thermal Power Station. Power Engineering's Project of the Year Award for renewable energy goes to the Lee County Wastewater Treatment Expansion Project. Power Engineering's Project of the Year Award for nuclear goes to the St. Lucie Generator and Reactor Head Replacement Project. The 2008 Power Engineering Project of the Year Award for coal-fired projects goes to Weston 4.
Welcome to PowerGen International and Nuclear Power International. Interestingly enough, this week is PowerGen Week in Orlando. The mayor has recognized the 20th anniversary of PowerGen and has declared this to be PowerGen Days.
And everybody asks, what can I do? How can I help? www.change.gov by clicking on energy and environment. And right now, 5,000 people can email that we're in favor of nuclear being part of the green energy mix going forward.
All of us here, we can make huge investment, major investment in clean air energy. This Energy New Deal can help a lot in reducing carbon emission. And lastly, Mr. President-elect, this Energy New Deal will help us with energy security and will reduce the addiction to imported oil.
I want to leave you specifically with 4 main messages. The first is that the science says we can't wait. We have to get started on addressing this challenge today. And the second is that if we move quickly, if we put in place the right rules and allow industry to start responding in a rational, market-based way, it doesn't have to hurt.
I'm sure you've heard that often quoted Chinese line, "May you live in interesting times." These days, most of us are thinking, how about a little less interesting? We have seen problems in the past. We have fixed some, ignored others. At times, we have lacked the political will to act.
And if we look to the key thing that I do agree with you, if the price is right, and that's what you said, the last thing the U.S. economy needs is electricity to increase via electricity, cap and trade, etc., that will at least double the price of electricity.
I don't think it's a doubling at the retail level, maybe at the wholesale level in some of the more pessimistic scenarios.
One more rejoinder. I turn to you, son, and say, hope is not a plant. We hope this and we hope that. Thank you.
CARE was promulgated under the Good Neighbor provision of the Clean Air Act. And the Good Neighbor provision says that a state's regulations have to be sufficient to prevent air emissions from within that state from impacting air quality in another state.
Just how exciting and dynamic the power generation industry is today is reflected at PowerGen International, which has been setting records all week in terms of number of attendees, square footage, number of exhibitors who are here. Nuclear Power International, the driving force behind the nuclear renaissance. All the major players are there, and then vendors, including the renewable sector, that's going to be driving some of the future growth in power generation in the U.S. and around the world.
Why is wind and solar and hydro and biomass? Why today? Well, there are several reasons. The technology works.
Within solar, we're actually talking about numerous different types of technology. My organization focuses specifically just on solar electric technologies. So there are solar hot water technologies, there's passive solar, but those are not technologies that my organization is dealing with. But just within solar electricity, we're talking about photovoltaics and we're talking about concentrating solar thermal. Those are the 2 primary categories of technologies.
There's a general perspective that hydropower is a tired, mature, it's been around a long time, not a lot of growth opportunity. EPRI completed a study 2 years ago for us, and what we found is that the potential for hydropower, but in looking at it in a different perspective, could essentially double.
thank you for coming to PowerGen International. Power is still going great, so thank you, and it's the biggest, best, strongest power show in the world, and you've made it happen, and Penwell is grateful, so thank you very much.